Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome back to our channel. So, ladies and gentlemen, there is one thing that I'm still wondering up to now, and this thing it touches about one man, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Geoffrey Rigathi Gachagua. Ladies and gentlemen, why is it that Geoffrey Rigathi Gachagua, the Deputy President of Republic of Kenya, has been now confined in the Mount Kenya region? Since we heard of him coming from Colombia, coming back to the country, we have just been seeing him operating around and within Mount Kenya region. And mark you also, William Ruto, who is the President of the Republic of Kenya, is out of the country and is still in the United States of America. And being that William Ruto is still out of the country, this could have the opportunity of one man, Rigathi Gachagua, to move out of, his region, Mount Kenya region, and continue popularizing their agendas and their party to the Kenyans. But what we are seeing is that we are seeing Rigathi Gachagua, who is some kind of in oblivion, whereby he is not, as people will put it, popularizing the agendas of the Kenya Kwanza to the Kenyans. Because I believe by now, if William Ruto could have been in the country, we could have been, often seeing Rigathi Gachagua with William Ruto each and every corner of the country. In where Western, in I don't know, a coast, maybe probably here in Nairobi, Nyanza. But we are seeing Rigathi Gachagua just quietly gracing services on Sunday and going back, retreats back to his political silence. We are seeing Rigathi Gachagua just, giving statements via Twitter handles. But what I'm wondering is, why is it that Rigathi Gachagua is not coming out, with that full force, the same way he could have done when William Ruto could have been around? Why is it that he's just confined in just corner in Mount Kenya and he don't want to move out? If you ask me, number one is that Rigathi Gachagua, he has nothing to sell to Kenyans out of Mount Kenya. Because since Rigathi Gachagua was elected, we have not had him championing of sugar industry, championing of, fish industry, championing of, other commodities, flour from other regions. But what we have been seeing is that we have seen Rigathi Gachagua just championing of tea, coffee, milk, things that touches the heart of the Kikuyu nation. And therefore, by that one alone, isolates him and just places him in one corner, and that corner is Mount Kenya region, whereby Rigathi Gachagua cannot move from, as an individual, from Mount Kenya and go to Western and, call for a political rally, because even if he calls for a political rally, he has nothing to sell there, and that one only confines him in the corner of Mount Kenya region. Number two, if you ask me, Rigathi Gachagua now is fear because of the reality in our economic situation. One man, Rigathi Gachagua, knew so well that the economy of the country is bad and Kenyans are bitter and hungry. And therefore, by any move by Rigathi Gachagua just to move outside and try to popularize their agenda, he will face the full wrath from Kenyans. And maybe to some point, maybe he can be heckled by Kenyans. And therefore, to avoid those issues, he just have to take a tactical retreat and not necessarily to be, hiding, but just to be seen in the mountain, because he believes in the mountain there is nobody, because he perceived to be the kingpin in the Mount Kenya region, though there's nobody who will ask him about the cost of living. And therefore, what he can just do, unlike maybe he goes outside Mount Kenya, he goes to coast, he cannot again popularize the agenda because of high cost of living, and it seems there is nothing the government is doing. So Kenyans will be harsh on him. Number three, if you ask me why Rigathi Gachagua is taking that tactical retreat back, is that Rigathi Gachagua knows so well that his politics evolves around Raila Odinga, the Azimio, and the activities. And therefore, by now, Rigathi Gachagua knows that there is nothing he can blame in between opposition and Raila Odinga. And therefore, that one makes him, clueless on what he'll speak out. Because even you can see him in Mount Kenya, it is difficult again to attack Raila Odinga at the moment the economy is bad. At the moment, the ministers and the officials, the state officials, you know, they are not keen on alleviating Kenyans from their plight. So, Rigathi Gachagua, he lacks the narrative to drive that, will make him to propagate around the country with the same, call it propaganda or call it a narrative, but he lacks that propaganda that will steer him around the country. Number four, if you ask me why Rigathi Gachagua is taking that tactical retreat, is that one man, Rigathi Gachagua, believes that there are camps in Mount Kenya region, and therefore he needs time just to dwell in Mount Kenya region to solidify the region behind him, because he believes that he's the next kingpin or he's the next presidential candidate there. Therefore, he needs time to move and try to fix their plight. Because you can read, because I've been reading in several articles whereby people in Mount Kenya region, in one way or the other, people in Mount Kenya region, they say that they are facing hard time as far as their commodities are concerned, whereby one man, Rigathi Gachagua, is not out, is not helping them, like to sell their coffee, their miraa, their tea, I don't know, their milk. And those are people which Rigathi Gachagua has been championing in the Mount Kenya region, whereby he's telling these people that, I'll fight for you guys, I'll fight for your commodities to be sold outside there, I'll fight for, your grievances to be heard. And therefore, he's the guy who is at the center of the power, and he's the guy who is at the center of everything. Talk of money, talk of, looking for markets, talking to other countries, for the close ties so as he can open up the routes for the commodities to get through. So he's the man who is at the center of everything. And therefore, by any chance, because there are camps in Mount Kenya region, people who have aspirations, talk of Ndindi Nyoro, talk of Kimani Chung, who is the majority leader, talk of Wells, Rigathi Gachagua himself, whereby Rigathi Gachagua is viewing these people as in near future we'll start seeing going around saying, this guy has been a deputy president, but he's not keen of our interest, he's not, working for us, because you can see the price of pyrethrum, the price of coffee is just deteriorating day by day, So, like you'll start receiving those you know, uh, anti-Gachagua statements from other leaders, being that they'll start accusing him of being deputy president, but yet people are still suffering more, even more than previous, regimes, and therefore he's trying now to stay back in mountain so as he can solidify that particular region and bring it in one context whereby he wants to solidify every person behind him to see that he's working. People may not view him as as a person who is moving outside there, with narratives, with everything else, but in deep down there, things are bad. I don't know what you think, but that is my take. If you ask me, those are issues that have made one man, Rigathi Gachagua, not be able to move around the country. Thank you guys, and maybe if you have watched this video to that particular moment, up to that particular moment, kindly, I ask you to subscribe it, give it a thumbs up, and I will appreciate. Also, you can share it with your friends, and I will be much appreciate. Thank you, and may God bless you.